All right, middle of day 2 of week 6, we've got I believe it was 9-2 Echo Fox against 6-4 Team Liquid, I think it is. Going into this
7-4.
7-4, that was it. I don't know how to do math. Going into the draft, Echo Fox is able to ban out the Skarner, top tier jungler from McSmithy. They ban out the Scion, a comfort pick for Impact at this point. Yeah. And the Tristana away from Doublelift because Doublelift is always going to want to play a hyper carry. They end up taking the Callista for Altec, performed pretty well in there. Dardoch playing Sejuani, he's played a lot of Sejuani this split. And Phoenix picking up the Rise. Team Liquid, of course, in ban prison for the first round, having to take away that Azir Gangplank Zoe. Yeah. They pick up the Gallia over Pobelter. They grab the Camille for Impact. I'm not entirely sure if I've seen Impact play Camille this split.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because he's not really had a whole lot other than Gangplank, he hasn't had a whole lot of success on carries.
And an interesting pick that we saw a little bit this weekend of teams opting to go for the Kha'Zix pick as opposed to going to the Skarner or the Zac or the Jax.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they saw the Kha'Zix work against Dardoch's Sejuani the day before, but Smithy is not the same on carries as Mike Young, so I don't know why they went with a carry style jungler on Smithy because he's only really shown proficiency on Lee Sin and Elise, who are not meta. Yeah. So it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to see this first part of the draft coming out of Team Liquid. In the second half, they banned Braum, which, I mean, I guess that makes sense because he's big and tanky and he can help out Callista. And then they banned Fiora, which Phoenix has brought out against the Galio in the past, but it didn't look that clean when it happened the first time. And then Echo Fox bans Ezreal and Xayah. I'm not so sure about the Ezreal pick, I guess because it can go toe-to-toe with Callista in the early game, and then just another scaling ADC against for Doublelift. Team Liquid winds up picking Olay, one of his champions, the Alistair, and Echo Fox brings out the Yasuo for Huni. Because
it's back once again.
Yeah.
The Huni Yasuo pick.
I mean, when you're the best top laner in the league, I guess you can do whatever you want, right? I would have argued that rather than banning Braum, they should have gone for this Tahm Kench ban. That Tahm Kench is the safest support to partner with someone who's aggressive like a Callista in the early game. And Team Liquid rounds out their comp with the Varus. A pseudo hyper carry at this point.
Yeah, I was still kind of confused that they gave over the Varus to Doublelift. I guess because they were trying to ban out any kind of escape tools like the Xayah that Ezreal would have. But Doublelift has played a lot of Varus this split.
Yeah, I would have thought ban Xayah and Varus and stick him on the Ezreal. Don't give him that hyper carry, that late game scaling. But Echo Fox clearly knows better because. Well, let's get into the game. I mean, the first...
Yeah, and speaking of the best top laner in the league, he was doing a bit of feeding early on, as we see the Yasuos in my solo queue games doing.
Yeah, but unlike the Yasuos in your solo queue games, he was getting camped.
Well, that's what those Yasuos
they will tell you that they got camped, but when you die at level 2, under the enemy's turret, it's not really getting camped. They just think they are.
Yeah, he ends up going down. I think he was 0-3-2. Not really able to contribute much on the rest of the map, where they were building leads. Mm-hmm. I believe they just kind of put him behind. He was just getting caught out. But at the same time, they weren't really able to make the Camille Galio comp that they picked work out very well.
Not really, especially when you look at the team fights that Echo Fox was able to get ahead on. It usually would start with that engage of either the Kha'Zix going in and the Galio follow up, or the Camille going in and the Galio follow up, which you'd think would pretty much win them the fight from the get go. But Echo Fox was just finding all these ways to not get caught out. They would either get a pick. It seemed like we would try to get a pick on the Rise or the Tom Kench or the Callista, and one of the other three would peel them out. The Callista would either call somebody back, call Kench back, or Kench would eat somebody up, and they would just mitigate that engage from Liquid, and then turn it around. And I think all three of the 5-man fights, Echo Fox just steamrolled Liquid and took objectives. I'm thinking of specifically the time in the bot lane, I think it was around 14 minutes or so. Fox decided that Altec and Adrian were going to go in for that Kench play, and then Liquid says, no, we're going to pick you out, and they try to get a pick on them. The Galio comes in. Ole missed his pulverize combo.
Yeah.
And then Fox says, okay, well, you misplayed, so Huni TP's in, Rise Realm Wart's in, and by this time, Sejuani has come in, and they just CC Liquid to death and a couple Rens, and they win the fight. And that was really the turning point in the game, where there was not really a whole lot of points in the armor that Liquid could poke at.
Yeah, and I mean, despite the top lane camping, this game was never really that close. Echo Fox had a 3k gold lead at 20.
Yeah.
At which point,
they just went for Baron.
You were talking about that they like to go for Baron a lot at this super early point. And then after that, it was just only a matter of time before they cracked open this base and took the game at 22 minutes.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Where Adrian and Altec kind of baited Liquid. Because it was the third time where Liquid saw Adrian and Altec and all right, we're going to catch you guys out. And it didn't work for the third time, just like it didn't work the first and second. And Echo Fox they all converged on Team Liquid. They aced them, and then they literally just pushed for the game. I mean, they had the comms after the game where they're like, hey, can we end? And Dardoch was like, let's just try. And they just did. And it clearly worked. So,
yeah, just another stat line for that. Liquid didn't get a single tower that whole game, nor did they get the one dragon that was taken in this game.
Yeah.
So,
proof. This is just me interjecting here. I don't think the dragons are worth a whole lot. Neither does Huni. That proof that you don't have to go take all the dragons in the game to win.
You collect all the dragons to...
Yeah, if you collect all the dragons but lose all your towers, you're going to win the game, right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that after this game, I'm pretty convinced that Echo Fox is going to end this split in first place.
Oh, absolutely.
Going into playoffs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I've really got on this one. I
Echo
don't think
Fox.
anyone's going to catch them at least till the end of the split. Once playoffs get here, I'm excited for Echo Fox Breaking Point to come out.
I don't know if it'll be breaking point, but I've said this since I think week 1. Echo Fox is going to finish in first place, but I don't think they're going to take the title. But yeah, that's it. All right. See you soon.